So as we know, we are in the period whereby students will be embarking on various research, starting from traditional research to action research. Now if you're a student and after you have collected your data, you want to analyze your data and you want to use SPSS to do it, due to one or two reasons you are finding it difficult to do it, I recommend this video to you. Just take your time, relax, and go through the video. At the end of the day, you can enter in your questionnaire items into the software. So all you have to do is you need to follow the video and also follow the steps I'm going to show you. It is easy. You don't need to pay for this. Supposing you have started your chapter 1, chapter 2 and chapter 3, everything has went through fine for you. Then for your chapter 4 and 5, that's the most easiest thing. That you are reporting what the respondent said. So if you have the questionnaires, that's the data, you have collected it and you want to enter it into SPSS and you're finding it difficult, kindly follow these videos to know more about it. This is the first interface you'll be having. Then since for us now we don't have anything, we don't have any data we are going to work with, we cannot select any, so we will go to new, then open. This will be the interface you'll be having. Let me delete one. Okay, delete this output. Oh gosh. So this is the SPSS interface. When you open it, this is the interface you are going to have. Now we have the data view and the variable view. What we are supposed to do here is let me check my microphone first before I continue. Okay, everything is working in that. So what you have to do is we have the data view and the variable view. I'm not here to tell you the function, but if you want to enter your data as urgent as you need it, then let's go to the variable view. And under the variable view, you have the name, type, width, decimals, labels, values, mixing, columns, align, measure, and row. Now way back in your research classes, your lecturer or your lectures informed you about certain types of data we have. So we have a data which is nominal, a data which is ordinal, and you know the function. So now what you have to do is, this is the name. So supposing I'm typing in the demographics of my respondent, and in most cases the demographics start with their age or sex. So now let's start with the age. So we have age, and the age to be numeric, decimal to label. So this is where under the label is where you type the complete sentence regarding that item. So what is your age? What is your age? When you get to the value side, that's where the coding will start in. So over here we can say that we have one which will represent from 20 to maybe 30, then you add 2 which represent 31 to 40, then you add then 3 which may represent 41 to 50, you add then the fourth value will represent 51 and above. You add. Once you are done with it, you click on OK. So now the measurement, we have scale, ordinal, nominal. Now these things here represent the scale you want to use to measure the item. So since we are talking about age, we will use scale. Now let's go back to the decimal side and reduce it to 0 so that you have this thing here. The next item will be sex. Now there is one thing you need to note about this. Under the name now, we cannot add space to it. We see variable names contains an illegal character, and that illegal character is the space I brought. So we have 6. Now under this section 2, we reduce the decimal to 0. Then we type in our question. Select your sex. So under the selection, you have 1 to represent male. Then we add 2 to represent female. 2 to represent female. Then we are done. Over here we will talk about other forms of gender. Good. So what we have here, under the measurement, we are going to use nominal because they are of the same importance, and we cannot say that one is superior than any other person. Whether you are a man or a female, we are all the same. So now let's talk about their educational level. So we have education. Under the education, that one to you type our question under the level. So now let's see, what is your level of education? And we go to 1, depending on the respondents. Depending on the respondents you are going to work with. Sometimes you need a respondent from all sections of society. So with that, you may include people who are not in school. So supposing that happens, then the first one will be no formal education. No formal education. The 2 will be primary. 3 will be secondary. Then 4 will be tertiary. Then you click OK. Now under this, under the type of education, we can rank them. So under the measurement, you go for ordinal. It can be ordered. You can say that if you didn't attain any formal education, then someone who attained the primary level of formal education, one or the other, or in terms of education, is superior than you. Good. So now let's assume these were the questions with regards to the demographics of our respondent. So this is how you are going to enter your questionnaire, or the question items, the items on the questionnaire on or in your statistical software. Now in most cases, this place which contains the names, you are supposed to get a topic to name that question so that it will be easy for you to know which item you are dealing with. Supposing you just type in the question here, let's talk about your favorite color or ethnicity. So what is your ethnicity? Now this question, as you can see, since we didn't name it here, automatically the SPSS will generate a name for it, which is VAR011. So it has generated a name for it. So if you come to the next one and do the same thing, if you choose to type anything here, it will give it another name in order of importance. So this is VAR00001, this is VAR0002. So it's up to you to make sure that for every label you have a theme or a topic for it. So for the first one, I have age, sex, education. So under this, since we are talking about ethnicity, you can rename this. You can rename this as ethnicity. You understand? Good. So since this one we won't use, let's